everybody, welcome to Let's Talk Racing. We got Collin Brown, Al Pearce from Autoweek, and myself, Roger Brehm, hosting tonight. We got a few guests in the house, and they're just gonna put their 2 cents on it if they think they got 2 cents. So you were telling me Jennifer Jo Cobb got a lot of extra press that she's gotten how many past years out of that one race?
If she gets any press at all, it'll be more than she normally gets.
It only cost her $5,000 to do it.
Not as much as Trevor Bain got.
Yeah, but see, Trevor can afford it. She can't.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the problem. I'm sure NASCAR is using Jennifer Jo Cobb and Trevor Bain to remind people, don't get out of your car.
Yep.
Don't walk on the track. You know what happened.
Wait to the officials. August
a year ago in upstate New York, and I think they're just using, this may be the first time I remember that they've had to invoke this penalty since the Tony Stewart tragedy. So it'll probably remind people next time that no matter how angry you are,
stay in your car.
Yeah, and both had a reason to be angry. You don't need to get out of the car and make a fool of yourself. So.
I missed the crash with Jennifer and was it Eric? No, not Eric.
Reddick. Tyler Reddick?
Yeah, with Tyler.
Oh, he turned her.
She just flat turned in his way and he just said, "You're out of my way, get out of it."
Well, he hit her and then he let her go, then he hit her again. You know, if you hit somebody and you get them a little bit, I guess, you drive, I don't.
Yeah.
If you get somebody a little bit loosey and you let them straighten up, then
they should move out of the way.
But if you just keep driving into them while they're getting sideways, then...
Yeah. Sort of like what Kyle Larson did to C.E. Falk at Daytona.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Got into him once, let him straighten out, got into him again.
So he didn't straighten out.
And didn't get so anyway. And I did not see the other incident. I did not see the Trevor Bain deal.
I didn't see that either.
The next day, so I don't know who did what to whom. I also did not see the incident between Bubba Wallace and Chris Buescher.
Oh, I think they got into
in the Xfinity race.
Watched a little bit of that on like Tuesday when they were reshowing. I think Bubba Wallace just kind of like drove it harder into the corner.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like the car was kind of going up the track a little bit, coming up out of the corner.
But you've got to wonder what it was like back at the shop on Monday morning.
Oh, I know.
When they had their their Monday debrief.
Yep.
You know, two guys at the same team, sitting maybe across from each other, maybe not. Maybe Jack had one down here and one down here, but that's happened before. There was a case at Martinsville many years ago when either Schrader and Waltrip or Schrader and Bodine got into a last lap deal and let a third teammate actually win the race. So it's happened before. But it's not a good deal. Okay, Roger, next.
So, overall, what'd you think about the 3 Dover races? Or take each race separately. What'd you feel?
Cup race was kind of boring.
Yeah,
I thought the Cup race was pretty boring.
The Cup race proved once again that what we've all known, which is, you put Jimmy Johnson on a
he's gone.
Relatively, I don't mean short track, but you put him on a handling track, an aero track, and he's really good.
He's got a good long run car too.
Yeah, yes. He didn't do anything all day long. He ran
about probably
top
10-ish,
10 to 15 to 20-ish, and then right at the end when things got important, there he goes. Yeah.
The restart, Truex and Casey King were getting into each other a little bit.
Yeah, but at that point though, Johnson was gone and Harvick was going behind him, so there was no issue there. But
yeah.
But Truex could have had another top 5.
Yeah.
It's amazing that kid is second in points.
That team, they've been doing good. That 78 team this year.
Yeah. If you put his crew chief in a lineup, you get 100 fans out of the grandstand. And you put his crew chief in a lineup with 5 other people, nobody knows who the kid is. His crew chief is absolutely the most unidentifiable guy, the most unknown guy. You know, he's second.
But he's doing something right though.
They're doing a lot right. Yeah, they're doing a lot right. they've led more laps this year. Last year I think they've led the most laps in the last 3 point races. Last year they led 1 lap total. Last year, 1 total lap. This year they've led almost 900 in the last 3 races. So they're pretty good.
Yeah, he's definitely on the verge of a win somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe Pocono.
You would have thought it might happen Sunday.
That's what I thought. I thought he was going to win Sunday.
Yeah.
I was pulling for Truex too on Sunday.
Yeah, and he has won there before, and people don't remember that his first career win
That's his home track, isn't it?
was very much
his home track.
overshadowed. It was a Monday race. It got rained out. And
The old Xfinity race that he won, right?
now I'm talking about the first race Truex ever won
Okay.
at Dover. It was a Monday rain-out race. And midway through it, they broke in the race to announce that Bill France Jr. had died.
Huh.
So all of a sudden, nobody really cares about the race. I mean, they do,
Right.
but Bill France passing away on a Monday afternoon during a Cup race in Delaware was all the big news. And I'm sure that Martin Truex would dearly love to win a race on a Sunday when really nothing else happens.
Yeah.
That
He's the main focus.
He can be the guy. Yep, he can be the guy.
That was back in 2007 when he won that one.
Yeah,
Huh.
driving for DEI, I think.
Wow, that's a big
His only win?
Chevrolet.
No, I think he's won one other one. Go to the race number. Go to 13.
Oh, he didn't win any more that year. Next year he won was 2013.
Yeah, which I think was at Sears Point, maybe. Maybe a road race he won it on fuel mileage.
Otherwise known as now Sonoma.
I think that may be right. I may be wrong.
Sonoma.
Yeah, well, that's Sears Point. Same place.
Yes.
And he won that on fuel mileage. So, his 2 wins have been pretty much overshadowed by other things. So. But that's a good team. And here's what's so ironic about that team.
All the way out from Colorado.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. That team left Charlotte on Sunday night at midnight, went all the way to Denver, got there Monday night at midnight, maybe later.
A long trip.
Worked on Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Worked on the race car all day Tuesday into Wednesday morning. The hauler driver came back to Dover. All right. After Dover, they went back to Denver.
Yep.
And I would suspect that maybe right about now they're getting ready to load up to go to Pocono. That team goes almost cross country, every weekend.
Are they getting all their motors and stuff? Are they building all their own motors, or are they just getting them from somebody else?
They get them from Childress.
Okay, Childress.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure whether they were a Hendrick team or a Childress power team.
Childress, yeah.
Okay.
And they probably pick motors up in North Carolina
On their way back.
or either going or coming to them a race.
Yeah.
So, or they get them shipped out there. They FedEx them or they UPS them, whatever.
Yeah.
That is a truly
fits and
amazing
ships.
story that a single car team with very limited sponsorship, because the sponsor is the team owner.
Furniture Row.
I mean, Barney Visser is sponsoring his own car.
Huh.
And they don't have much other than his money to go by, and yet there they are.
They're a competitive team.
Second in points, running great, with a crew chief that nobody ever heard of. This guy named Cole Pearn, Pearn. Nobody ever heard of him, but they say he's awfully good, which means somebody will
Snatch him
snatch him up. Yeah.
I can see Hendrickson getting him, or Gibbs.
What keeps them in Denver?
I'm sorry.
What keeps them in Denver? Sounds like a poor business.
The team
model.
owner, the guy who owns the team, is from Colorado.
Okay, that's
Born and reared in Colorado, lives there. All his businesses are there,
okay.
and he says, "You
That
know
makes
what?
sense.
If I'm going to be an owner, it's
Might as well
going
have it near my house.
to be my team. I'm going to put it where I want to put it,
Okay.
and if you want to work for me, fine. If you don't,
That's
move
cool
to
too.
North Carolina."
Yeah.
I don't know. There may be once or twice a year when they lay over in Charlotte area. They take their car to Childress' shop. Or if there are 2 races back to back very close. I'm trying to think of when. It would have to be a Sunday race. You know, Darlington and Richmond in September, they may lay over on the East Coast because by the time you leave Darlington on a Sunday night and get back to Colorado, you got to be back at Richmond on Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
They may not go back for that one, but I think as much as they can, they go back to Denver and they work on the car in Denver, and they come back, you know, cross country.
I tell you what, and I'm actually I'm sort of surprised. In his 12 years of racing, just in Sprint Cup, the earnings have been almost $50 million for the races he's running.
Oh yeah. You know, if he only got to keep a third of that, he's set for life. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, there are guys out there making just enormous amounts of money
Oh yeah.
who really haven't. You can't say they haven't earned it because they've gotten it. If you get it, you earned it.
But they're like riding around in a way.
You're just kind of making laps.
Riding like 25th or worse. Or
Yeah. So.
And then you bring the car home back. You bring the car back.
Yeah. The thing at Dover that I noticed most prominently was the fact that there was just nobody there.
Yeah, that's true. I noticed they took down some grandstands too over in turn 3.
Took down a ton of seats. Took down a mess of seats. It still looked bad. And
Like it was all like bits and
we've
pieces
talked
of
about
people
it.
around turn 4. And
Yeah. We've talked about it forever, and I don't really understand why it is, but they just aren't drawing the people that
Is
they
it
want to
economy right now, or is it just like ticket prices?
TV ratings are awful. TV ratings for Charlotte were the worst they've had in decades,
600?
maybe.
Or
The
just in
Indy
general?
500 even beat them,
Wow, really?
which is unusual. So it's just a tough situation. I don't know whether ticket prices are too expensive. I don't know whether
I was thinking it'd be ticket prices.
people don't want to spend all day at a racetrack. You
When they
know,
go watch it when they go just like
Well, if
do
you
other
can-
things or something.
Kind of coincides with the rise of Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Busch being dominant on the track. Do you think that has anything to do with people not showing up? You don't want to
no.
You
they-
see
already
the
have
same
to-
guys win?
You'd already
Well,
have
if it
tickets
were
sold.
Junior, if Junior were winning, they'd have lots of people there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe you can blame it on any particular driver winning or losing. But hell, one year Richard Petty won 27 races. Now I don't know that certainly won't ever happen again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he won 10 in a row. I just wonder whether people who live, just say you live in Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
and you wake up Sunday morning, it's a beautiful day, and you're 3 hours from Dover. You don't have tickets, but you know you can get them. You're 3 hours from Dover. Do you want to cross the bridge, pay the toll, fight traffic,
Or do you just want to sit at home and watch it on TV?
sit at home and cut it on?
Or just sit at home and
But-
put it on, you know?
They're not watching it at home either.
Mm-hmm, that's true. Watching other stuff.
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. You know, NASCAR claims that the competition's great. More cars are finishing on the lead lap. There's more close racing than ever, but the winner generally is uncontested at the end. Nobody was good. Really. When Johnson got off got the last restart after the last caution on the green-white checker deal, he just drove away from Harvick. Harvick drove away from guys with 4 fresh tires.
Mm-hmm. Harvick was gone.
And there's just
I think it's
nothing.
about the clean air. The clean
Well,
air.
clean
quality.
air is everything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't drive them, and I don't know that when you race is clean air an issue in yours. It's slow, not. I mean, say as slow as you're going, but
That's not really an issue. It's not really.
yeah.
Those
But they
Lexus
gotta
cars
do something
anyway aren't
about it.
really made to be slippery in the air anyway.
Yeah.
And they're going this weekend to one of the worst racetracks in America. Pocono just cannot be any worse.
And I think Pocono's kind of a boring race too in a
It's
way.
a hugely long straightaway, the longest straightaway in racing I think of.
It probably is.
They got 3 turns.
A
that
long backstretch too,
are
right?
long back stretch, kind of a short third turn.
They can run about 4 wide.
Yeah, and then they all get in, they line
They all
up.
spread out.
Yeah, they spread out. They come out of turn 1. They all get in line.
Then they
They
snake.
go through the corner and they all spread
Yeah.
out again and they all get in line.
And then as soon as they get single file, that's kind of done after
And
that.
after a while, the good guys,
Break,
I think
break
that,
off.
I think that's a place where the really good guys are so much better than the sometimes good guys.
Yeah.
You know, the guys who are maybe can hang in there for a while at some tracks, at Pocono they're not good enough to handle 3 corners with different banking and 3 straightaways.
Mm-hmm.
Their teams, their crew chiefs just aren't good enough to get them set up for that. I would be stunned beyond words. I'll be stunned. And I'll admit it next Wednesday night if I'm wrong. I'll be stunned if the winner isn't somebody who qualifies up front, stays up front, and has been up
Knows how
front
to
all
control
year.
fuel mileage, and
Well, except, yeah.
you always got the running out of gas. Though.
Yeah, you might get a fuel mileage race like they had at Charlotte, where
Or you could get a rain out because Pocono likes to rain a lot at Pocono.
yeah, you had a fuel mileage race at Charlotte. You had clean air in the All-Star race. You had clean air at Kansas City. Talladega Junior, Jimmy did not even try to pass Junior
He just stayed
on the
behind.
last lap. I think he knew he couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Pocono.
He said he tried to. He tried to take a look though. Talladega.
Yeah.
He tried to take a look.
I suspect at Pocono, the winner will be a guy who's maybe certainly top 10 in points, maybe top 8. I don't believe anybody back in the field is
I
going to
think it's probably going to
be,
be.
except maybe Kyle Busch.
Yeah, it'll probably be a Hendrick car. I think winning this weekend.
Yeah, they've done
I
well
see a
there.
Hendrick.
Hamlin's run well there. It could be a Gibbs car.
Yeah, that's true. Hamlin has one. Junior pulled out the sweep last year, so
Yeah, on fuel mileage.
yeah.
The first race last year was, he won them both last year.
Yeah, he
didn't
won. He pulled
Won
out
both,
the
that's
sweep.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, then that automatically means a Hendrick car won't win Sunday.
Yeah.
You just don't.
You don't
There's no
repeat.
reason. There's no reason the same team can't win every weekend.
Right.
But it's kind of unlikely. I asked Chad Knaus one day in an interview. I said, Ray Abraham told me one day that you're the only guy in racing who believes you can win every single race. He said, look at it this way. He said, somebody is going to win every single race.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you can go and you can discount about 30 cars right off the bat. You can take 30 cars that you know aren't going to win. Of the remaining 13, we're as good as anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing that says, just because we won this weekend, we can't win next weekend or the weekend after that. Because somebody's going to do it. And it can be us.
Mm-hmm.
And Chad
Yeah,
Knaus truly thinks he can win every race. And when he doesn't, he's a little bit agitated. But anyway. All right, Roger, who we got next?
Waiting on Jordan Anderson. He just texted me, said he was heading out to his truck so he could be quiet around where he was being able to talk to us.
He's having a little kid.
I don't even know him. I'm sorry. You have to tell me who he
He
is.
is a driver for Mike Harmon Racing in the 74 truck.
Okay.
He did
That
research.
doesn't help me a bit.
He did research.
Okay, you're the guy. Take it over. If he calls in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, he just texted me about 2 minutes ago. He said, I'm heading out to the truck, so it'll be quiet when I call.
Now, they're racing in Texas on Friday night, is that right?
The truck start.
The
Yep.
trucks.
Yep.
Oh
and
yeah, I thought we could go to Pocono with the cup cars.
No,
You know,
Arca's there.
Arca. That's right, Arca's right.
Xfinity's got the weekend off. Trucks are in Texas with the Indy cars. And Arca's at Pocono on Saturday afternoon at like 2 o'clock
yeah, somewhere around there.
in front of dozens. I'm sure. I'm
Well,
sure.
you'll have all the people that are on the infield watching. They're at the tailgating.
Yeah, that infield
Yeah.
crowd used to be pretty impressive. It's not
Not anymore.
a big deal anymore. No.
The best race on Saturday is the horse race, isn't it?
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
forgot to say horse race is Sunday.
American Pharoah.
There you go.
Let's talk racing.
Let's talk racing.
Hey Roger, this is Jordan here.
Hey, Jordan, how you doing today?
Hey man, I'm good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Got Collin Brown and Al Pearce in here with us tonight. They're going to throw some questions at you.
Alright, what's up guys?
We got to find out first of all, where are you? I mean, where are you calling from?
I am here in Charlotte right now.
Okay, Charlotte. Okay. Getting ready to go to Texas.
Yes, sir. Racing there Friday night. We've got practice tomorrow and then qualify race on Friday.
Oh, okay. That's a 2-day show. Okay, good.
Thursday, Friday.
Yep, 2 days.
Have you raced in Texas before?
I haven't raced there before, but I was there about a month and a half ago with the Xfinity Series spotting down there, so I at least have seen the place before.
Okay. When you get to the racetrack tomorrow, before you go on the track, who will you go to, and whose brain will you pick to find out the best way to get around that place?
NASCAR's been really good this year about when they have a rookie meeting. They have all the rookies together, and they usually bring Matt Crafton over there and get Crafton to kind of give us a walkthrough on, things to look out for, things to do at the racetrack. So Crafton's usually pretty good about, kind of giving us some tips on getting around there. But then I usually go to a guy like Timothy Peters has been pretty good to me this year on helping me out with some things. So him and Johnny Sauter, some of those guys have been around a while, are always good to go to for some advice and tips.
Hey, when you do go to talk to Timothy, tell him I said to make sure he takes really good care of you at Texas.
All right, 10-4.
And you can tell him I said that.
I will.
Jump in there, young man.
All right, so hey, Jordan, it's Collin Brown, a local legend car driver here in Virginia. I got a question. What is the difference in G-force from New Hampshire to a track like Dover, and describe what it feels like?
Each track kind of has its own kind of characteristics that they carry with it. A place like Dover, the biggest thing you've got there is kind of pushing you down the steep, and your corners are real big. So Dover, I practiced up there, I guess it was last Thursday, and you hit that big bump going into turn one, and it kind of throws the truck up, and then about 2 cars later, it lands and goes off in the corner. So there's some big G-forces there versus like a track like Atlanta, Kansas, Charlotte, where you're lifting just a little bit. Like at Charlotte last week or 2 weeks ago, I was rolling out of the throttle for a half second and right back in it. So you've got that on edge, kind of all the way around the racetrack, and you're just barely getting a chance to breathe on the straightaway. So, your short tracks is kind of go, and it's more pushing you down versus some of the big tracks are kind of pushing you over to the side because you're keeping that high speed going and momentum around the corner.
What advice would you give to an up-and-coming driver?
Yeah, man, what series are you racing right now?
I'm racing legend cars right now.
Okay, you race up,
I race at like Langley and South. It's up at Southside in Shenandoah here in Virginia.
okay. Yeah, man, that's kind of the same route I did. I did the whole go-karts, Bandoleros, legend cars, and after legend cars, I hopped in dirt late models for 2 years and did a couple years of super late models. So the biggest advice I can give to you is learn as much as you can about every single part of your racing program. See, that's kind of what I was forced to do when I was growing up, because I was having to go get sponsorship, kind of work on the car and drive to the racetrack and just kind of manage the business side of it. Because if you can get a good grasp on the business side of it and build some good relationships with sponsors, that'll give you the ability to, as you move up with your racing program, to keep those sponsors with you and partners with you, and they kind of see that you're serious about this and you're trying to keep your program growing and building. And, so just keep learning as much as you can about racing. I mean, that's like me today. I mean, I'm still turning wrenches on my truck, setting it up, driving to the racetrack. I'm walking around the pits, buying scuff tires off some of the bigger teams. So, I mean, it never stops. The more you can learn, the better you can build your program, and the better you can understand of, what does what, and what it takes to get to the racetrack. And on the sponsorship side, read as many books as you can about sponsorship and marketing, because one of my best go-to books I use is Marketing for Dummies, just to try and get some ideas on putting programs together. You can never stop learning enough. So, keep doing what you're doing, racing legend cars and getting some time. Kind of look towards, a series above, whether it's late models on asphalt or dirt or wherever you think your best bet is. I start getting a game plan, a year or so ahead, and start kind of working towards that.
What's one big racing skill you learned from Racing Legends?
One of the biggest things I learned from it?
Mm-hmm.
you know, it was kind of always an interesting thing because in legend cars you had to be really, really aggressive because the races were only 20 laps.
Mm-hmm.
But then you had to be patient to make sure you took care of your equipment. Like a perfect example was we raced the summer shootout for years. And the biggest thing of the shootout was, you know, you had just to finish. You had to be there at the end of the race. And so you kind of had to find that balance between being aggressive and being patient. And really figure out how those things can work together to win races for you. And that's how we won back-to-back championships at Charlotte. So I think the biggest thing there was to find that balance between being aggressive and being patient. That's a really important driving factor because, you know, I don't care what series you're in, if you're tearing, you know, fenders off or having to put front clips on, you know, every couple of weeks, it just makes it so much harder for you to grow that program like I was talking about earlier. You know, with this truck program I'm doing now, we've run Daytona, Atlanta, Charlotte, Kansas, you know, some big places, and, you know, haven't gotten a scratch on the truck yet. And what that's been able to allow us to do is to go to more races because you're not spending money on fixing your equipment. So the less stuff you got to spend time and money on, you know, keeping your cars repaired, more races you get to finish. You know, it's kind of in the long term, it's better for you as a driver because that's one thing I didn't really have anybody teaching me growing up how to do that. So I kind of had to figure some of it on my own because, you know, if you're racing a legend car or a late model somewhere, sometimes it's better to finish, you know, fifth than it is fourth, and you tear the right side off of it, you know?
Yeah. Better off save equipment for, say, something else later on down the road.
Yeah, you know, exactly. You know, if you can keep that car on one little damage mark on it, you can take it back to the shop after that race that next week and go through it and clean it up and massage on it. You know, work on your shock and spring package and just figure out where you can go a little bit better. But if you're constantly fixing, you know, broken pieces week in and week out, that's all you're going to have time for.
It's just more money, too.
Exactly. And that's one thing none of us racers like to do is spend money on wrecked parts.
Jordan, how did you actually get into racing? Give us some background on how you got where you are.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. It's something that started back when I was about 4 years old. I shared with my mom and dad the passion I had to one day wanted to be a race car driver and race in NASCAR. And for them, you know, for their 4-year-old to tell them that, 5-year-old, they're probably like, oh yeah, race car driver, spaceman, cowboy, you know, go do it, have fun with it. But it was literally about a year and a half later, I got a yard cart for Christmas. I rode around the neighborhood, and at 7 years old, I got invited to come out and watch a WKA go-kart race. And we went to a track that was probably, I'd say 30 minutes from our house. And we were there with the family, and I'm 7 years old at the time. I'm just absolutely mesmerized of all these little go-karts and kids my age walking around racing, and just figuring how can I be a part of this. So we're sitting in the grandstands, and we actually sit next to a kid he's actually now a crew chief on the Xfinity team, Nick Hutchins. But Nick was racing go-karts at the time, and had been in a crash and broke his wrist, so he was up in the stands with his family watching it. We kind of hit it off and got to talking, and Nick told me he was getting his cast off in a couple weeks, and if I wanted to come out and test one of his go-karts when they practiced. And my 7-year-old self was all grins and thumbs up, and let's do it. So I kind of snuck my parents in on doing that one, but we went out and did the test, and I practiced the go-kart, and just knew that was what I wanted to do. And that was, over a decade ago. So I've gone through the ranks, like I mentioned earlier, racing. I ran WKA for 2-3 years, moved into the Bandolero ranks at 11, moved into legend cars at 13, and then moved into dirt late models when I was 17 years old. Ran those for a couple of years before I moved up into super late model stuff. Back in 2013, made my debut in the K&N series, and then last year made my debut in the truck series. We ran Phoenix and Homestead the last 2 races. But it's been an absolute incredible journey, and my path is unlike a lot of guys in that nobody in my family or circle of influence or anybody I knew had any involvement in racing. And I moved up here to Charlotte, a senior in high school, so I could homeschool myself to just kind of pursue after the racing route. And while I was up here, I went ahead and went to college at Belmont Abbey, and I got a degree with a major in business management and a minor in marketing. So my entire life, from back in the go-kart days, has just been focused on You know, when I wake up in the morning till I go to sleep, my mind's on the racing program and what I can do to advance it. You know, find a way to bring more partners involved and keep them, you know, getting an ROI on their involvement with me and my program, and how to make the car go faster and just make it in from week out, you know, every single race we go to.
So where you?
Just like last night, I was at the race shop last night till probably 2 a.m. changing valve springs on the motor for the truck in Texas this week. So I mean, it's just, you know, whatever it takes to make it happen.
So where are you from originally? You say you moved up to Charlotte. Where are you from originally?
Yeah, I'm originally from Forest Acres, South Carolina.
From where?
Down there near Forest Acres,
Okay.
South Carolina.
Okay. So you went to
Forest Acres is about a stone's throw from Columbia.
Okay, so you went to Belmont Abbey. You said. Do you know?
Sure, I did.
Do you know who the most famous person is to ever come out of Belmont Abbey?
Who is that?
A guy named Al McGuire.
Al McGuire.
He was a national championship winning basketball coach at Belmont Abbey for years and at Marquette. You probably know Tom Cotter.
I know Tom Cotter very well.
And you know Ian Moyne, my friend Ian Moyne, I bet.
Yeah, he and I had quite a few classes together.
Okay. I may have come to one of your classes. Tom had me stop by your school on a Tuesday night after Daytona about 3 years ago. Tom had a Tuesday night class of motorsports marketing people, and he asked me to come talk to the class. It was either 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I don't remember which. Dr. Tracy Rischel was there at the time.
Right, yeah. You know, unfortunately, I don't think I was in that class because...
Well, you'd remember me, certainly.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm sure you'd remember
Hey Mason, we haven't forgotten about you, by the way.
me. Yeah, you'd remember me. So, anyway.
Yeah,
Okay, so you want to Cotter's guys. That's good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
I only had Cotter for about one class though, because I walked into my first class with him and said, "Hey guys, I'm supposed to be your teacher this semester, but I just took up a job working for the Formula One race in New York."
In New York, that's right.
And so Tom was there, and he actually introduced us to Mike Mooney, who is the business development manager over at Roush.
I've known Mike Mooney for 25 years. 20 years, easy.
Really?
Easy 20 years.
So Mike was my teacher over there instead of Tom when Tom moved up to New York. So I had Bruce Mosley and Mike Mooney were my two main teachers over there at Belmont Abbey, and they're both really, really great guys. They helped me out, still help me out a lot to this day.
Okay.
Well,
You know, my last question is this. You know who one of Tom's best friends is? A guy he hosted this past weekend. Tom hung out in Charlotte with Jay Leno.
I saw that. I saw he posted on Facebook.
Yep. Tom is not shy about posting. Yeah, Tom is not shy about posting pictures of famous people he's with. So, anyway. Well, listen. Thanks for calling in. Good luck this weekend. I hope you do well. Just remember, Texas is just like Charlotte's, only further away.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, it's going to be an exciting opportunity to run down there. I mean, it's a big, fast track. We've got an exciting couple weeks ahead. I'm still trying to, I actually was sitting here in front of my laptop earlier tonight making a spreadsheet trying to figure out some logistics of it all, because we race Texas this week, and then next week we go to Gateway in St. Louis, and the week after that we go to Iowa. So I'm actually kind of debating, I do a lot of the driving with the haulers, so after Texas I might drive out to Gateway for the race in St. Louis, and I got a buddy that has a race shop out there, and I might pull a little old school move like those guys used to do back in the day, and stay out there somewhere in St. Louis and work on the truck in their shop and get ready for Iowa. So we'll see.
Well, while you're in Texas, go to a little town called Roanoke, which is just north of the racetrack. You ever been there?
I will tonight or tomorrow night from my hotel is in Roanoke.
Okay. Write this down. Babe's Fried Chicken. B-A-B-E. Babe's Fried Chicken. Write it down. You go to Babe's for dinner tomorrow night.
All right. So when I walk in Babe's and look at the menu, what am I going to order?
Oh, no, you don't order. They bring you what they want to bring you. You don't get to order.
Oh.
Really?
It's like
No. It's chicken. It's fried chicken, mashed potatoes, salad, corn, biscuits, and iced tea. They don't have menus. They just say, we'll be with you in just a second. When they come back to your table, they'll have your dinner waiting for you. You got to try it. Even if you don't think you'll like it, do me a favor and try it, and tell me later how you liked it.
All right, deal. We'll check it out.
All right, do a quick shout out to your sponsors, Jordan. We got to go ahead and get the next person online here.
Yeah, for sure. We've actually got sponsoring the truck this weekend. It's their first time on board with me. It's Knight Fire Protection. Randy Knight and some of his guys from actually Washington State, of all places. Randy's got a condo at Charlotte, Texas, and Atlanta. Big racing fan and big supporter of me. He's going to be on board down there. We've also got Tri-Analytics. They've been a big supporter of us. They run the truck at Charlotte and Daytona. And then we'll have returning associate sponsor. We'll have Annie Ann and Cinnabon back on the truck. So got some good sponsors there. And I even got a buddy of mine who's a big up-and-coming DJ and producer, Tim Gunder. Tim actually went to University of North Carolina, and we'll have him on the truck too. So got some cool names on the truck this weekend.
Good luck to you.
Good luck.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it all your time.
And you'll enjoy babes, believe me.
Hey, I'll give you an update next week.
All right. Later.
See, sometimes you got to talk about more than just racing.
Well, we know you're always wanting to talk about food or basketball.
Yeah.
I think it's
Not
pretty good.
basketball, not tonight, not basketball.
Usually college stuff, though. Hey, Mason, you still hanging in there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
I hope you enjoyed. That was one of your competitors for this weekend.
Yes, sir.
That was Jordan Anderson, the 74 truck.
Yeah, I think we've gotten to race with them a couple times this year already.
Good deal. Got Al Pearce and Collin Brown in here with me tonight, so they're going to throw some questions at you for starts.
All right, sounds good.
The original question is, where are you right now located tonight? Where are you calling from?
I'm in Maybank, Texas, sitting on the lake.
Oh, you're in Texas already. Good for you.
I got a head start on the weekend.
Sitting by somebody's lake, somebody you already know down there you're staying with?
I am. My girlfriend's family lives down here, so we usually try to come out here the week of the race anytime we come down to Texas. So we're hanging out with them on the lake for the weekend, getting to relax a little bit.
Oh, that's the ticket.
That's cool.
Get really relaxed. Go ahead, Collin.
Jump in there, son.
All right. So, what advice would you give to an up-and-coming driver?
If your dream is to make it into a higher level of racing, whether it be NASCAR or whatever it may be on the open wheel side, I think it's just to pursue it and don't give up. I know there's definitely there's times when it gets tough and you kind of question what you're doing because it seems like things are consistently going wrong. But if you got to power through those and believe in what you want to do. And I think that if you do that, then the rest is fairly simple. I mean, the rest will come. Obviously, there's a lot of technical stuff to the sport as far as, you have to have talent, you have to be marketable, you have to bring in marketing partners to try to build a brand. But I think if you just kind of believe in what you do, people see that, recognize that, and, obviously the results will come, and then the sponsors will come, and, that's the key. And obviously make sure that you focus on growing a fan base and taking every chance you get to do whatever it is that the fan wants you to do, sign an autograph. It doesn't take 2 seconds when you're walking to qualifying or something like that. Because at the end of the day, we wouldn't be here, get to do what we do without the fans' support. And I think that's very important for people to keep in mind trying to make it in the sport.
What was your route? How did you start? How young were you? Kind of briefly bring us from when you started to where you are now.
Yeah, it was a little bit probably different. Nobody in my family really raced, and I had a go-kart when I was about 4 years old, just driving around the backyard. And when I kept bugging my dad at the time, I had no idea I could just go race that go-kart, but I just told him I wanted to go race go-karts, and there was a guy that he knew out in Nashville, Tennessee, that was building a quarter midget track, so When I was 7 years old, he took me up there, and I got in somebody's car to test it, and we've been pretty hooked from there. I went from there to mini cups, which are like a quarter scale stock car, and then baby grams, which are like 3/4 scales, and then into super late models. And then I ran the ARCA series for a year and a half, and then truck series full time last year and this year.
Are you pretty much on schedule or on timetable for where you hoped you would be at this point, or are you a little behind or a little ahead of where you thought you might be at this point?
Yeah, I mean, if you had asked me 10 years ago where I'd be, I probably wouldn't have told you this. As far as I've gotten, obviously it was my dream, but the racing in in one of the 3 top series in NASCAR is very tough to do, and so I'm thrilled to be here and taking it one step at a time. I'm anxious. I would love to go get in the Cup car today, but I think that it's important to take the right steps and not to get too overeager maybe and rush it. So we're going to take it one step at a time, and for what we have set right now, we're worried about the truck series this year, and then outside of that, we'll see what comes our way. I'd love to get an Xfinity car or something like that later in the year, but right now we're just focusing on the truck series and trying to make some of our sponsors get them some recognition and that they deserve for supporting me. Collin won. They've been on board with me since I started racing, and so having them on the truck this year is really exciting, and it's also trying to grow that marketing base that we have and move forward.
Now, how old are you now?
I'm 20 years old.
All right, so you're not yet to a point where you're beginning to panic or get itchy. I mean, if you were mid to late 20s and you were in the truck series, you might be a little more concerned, but you feel like you got plenty of time?
It seems like every time we show up at the racetrack, I start looking like the old guy. There's so many people that are younger than me. I remember when I used to be the rookie and the young guy, but there's so many people that are barely 18 in the truck series now, or actually younger than 18, I guess, at some racetracks. So, it's definitely it's time. I would like to start moving forward, but I'm definitely blessed to be where I am and happy to be where I am. So I'm not panicking by no means. No, we'll take it. We'll take opportunities as they come. I guess can't get too greedy.
All right. So what's the difference in G-force, say, from going to a track like New Hampshire to racing at a high bank track, like say something like Dover, or something like that? What's the difference in G-force?
I think it's all pretty relative. It's just like when you go from Daytona to New Hampshire speed thing. It's all relative. Really, Daytona actually seems slower than New Hampshire in that sense. But it's physically it's probably a little bit more demanding at a place like Dover. By the end of the race, you're a little bit more exhausted. I guess you have to work a little bit harder throughout the course of a race. But it's not a significant change. You feel pretty comfortable and pretty at home, I think, at all the racetracks.
What's an important skill that you've learned through coming up with through the ranks in racing?
The biggest thing that I think I've learned here in the past couple of years is how important aerodynamics are. Growing up as a short track racer, just like everybody else, it really didn't matter. If you put a dent in the right front fender in the middle of a race at Berlin Speedway or Salem Speedway, it didn't make a difference. In getting in the ARCA cars, I saw that a little bit. And as we moved into the truck series, air is so important in these trucks, and that was my biggest thing that I had to learn last year, was how to work the air and how to use the air to my advantage. It's definitely been a big learning progress for me. This year, I feel like I've started to get a handle of it. It helps to have good trucks. These guys at Billy Buck Motorsports have been building some really great trucks for me, and to put those on the racetrack, you can tell there's a big difference. And that's something that I haven't seen before, and that I'm having to continue to learn. Every racetrack we go to that's new, you kind of have to learn the different characteristics of each racetrack. So kind of learning the aero standpoint and how much it can help you or it can hurt you. So that was big.
Mason, before we let you go, I want you to explain something to us and to our listeners. everybody knows that NASCAR is making a big deal out of staying in your vehicle if there's an incident. Everybody knows that. They know why that rule was brought in. Everybody knows what happened to Tony last year. But as a driver, explain to me and other people, is it difficult to keep your emotions under control when you think you've been really done wrong on a racetrack? And I'm speaking specifically of Jennifer Jo Cobb on Friday and Trevor Bayne on Saturday. They knew the rule, they knew exactly what they were doing, but explain to people who may not race like me, what gets into your mind at that moment when you decide, I'm going to let this person know I'm not happy? How does that work in your mind?
It doesn't at that point in time. You really don't care. You know, there's so many of us that pour everything we got into this sport, especially people in the truck series that are up and coming, that are trying to make a name for themselves. You know, we want it so bad, and we put so many hours in and work so hard to try to move forward and to eventually, you know, complete our goal of racing in the Cup Series. That's usually everyone's goal. And you know, when you feel like you have a good run going, or you know, you put a lot of pressure on yourself to run well, and when you feel like someone else ruins your day, it's one of the worst feelings in the world. You know, you can walk away from a racetrack when you make a mistake and you know, and understand it and realize that you need to get better, that you need to do something different. But when somebody else ends your day and there's nothing that you can do about it, it's pretty difficult to deal with as a driver, because you can't fix it. There's nothing that you could have done. And I think that's when you see people's tempers flare. It's not usually when they make mistakes. It's usually when somebody else makes a mistake. And I understand it. I get it. At the end of the day, obviously, the rules are rules. Fine's usually going to hurt you more than just staying in the truck. But I get where they're coming from, and that emotion kind of pours over sometimes.
Has it happened to you? Have you been tempted to just jump out of your truck and walk down to the racetrack and throw something or signal to somebody, or have you been tempted to do it?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. But at the end of the day, you know, in that fight, the other truck is probably going to land on your own foot. So that's something else to think about. You're really not going to accomplish very much right there, other than show everybody on TV that what's going on. So, you know, sometimes in a situation like that, you probably got to take a step back and then go have a conversation or whatever you need to do after the race with that person. But going up and running out in the middle of the racetrack with a 3,400-pound race car is usually not going to end that well. So.
Well, the TV guys were saying the other day that they, just like you said, they understood completely what Jennifer Jo Cobb was thinking, which was she wasn't thinking at all. And they could, and they understood what Trevor Bayne was not thinking when he walked out on the track. But on the other hand, you know, they're also thinking that the rule was put in, and Jennifer Jo mentioned this in her defense of herself, that she knows, Jennifer Jo Cobb knew exactly why the rule had been put in last August. No question about it. She said, I was wrong. I should not forget that a tragedy brought this rule into being. But she also said, sometimes you just don't think. And by the time you collect your wits about you,
It's too late.
you're 10 feet up the racetrack, yeah.
Mhm.
And it's too late. So but I'm, you know, for those of us who've never raced, I don't know that we understand the passion and the disappointment, like you say, if somebody dumps you.
Oh yeah.
Either
You're hot.
Yeah, either intentionally or otherwise. But you know, I guess you guys know you've got to be careful with that.
And plus, it's just the adrenaline too, coming along with it.
Yeah. Well, listen. What about just give us a rundown of your sponsors? Tell us who you want to thank, and we'll let you go back to your lakeside enjoyment.
Yeah, you know, as always, got to thank 811, Call Before You Dig. You know, they promote underground safety, and they come out and they'll locate underground utilities for you before you go start any digging project. And more specifically, this weekend, we're going to have Texas 811 on the hood of our truck, and also we have the Smalley Foundation on board with us all season long. So we're definitely excited to have those partners with us, and and hopefully we can get them a good run, or maybe even a win here in Texas.
Well, have fun in Texas. Maybe you'll win one of those 6-shooters they give away.
Actually, if he wants to keep going, he can.
Oh, he can?
Yeah, I just got a message from Zipadelli. He's in the hospital with his daughter.
Well, I don't believe you should call us in.
That's what I'm telling him now.
All right, well, let me ask Mason one more question now. Now, you say you're in Texas now.
I am.
How far from the racetrack? How far from Fort Worth?
I think we're about an hour and 20 minutes from the racetrack.
Okay. Where you are now, and we all know, and this is a totally non-race related question, Texas has been hit with some pretty bad weather in the last week or so.
Yeah, flood.
Is there any indication where you are of how bad it's been in other parts of the state, or is your girlfriend's family's property pretty safe?
They're all safe, but we took a ride down the road this morning and saw the river that I think it was Trinity River that runs through their town, and it is way over the banks and flooded a lot of people's farms. But I think right around them, everybody's houses are fairly safe. I don't think they quite got hit as hard as some parts, but there's definitely evidence of the flooding down here.
Now, where are you from originally? You're not from Texas, are you?
No, sir. I'm born in Louisville, Kentucky, but I grew up pretty much my whole life since I was 2 years old in Brentwood, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
And about 2 years ago, after I graduated high school, I moved to North Carolina.
Brentwood, isn't that near where, is that near Franklin?
It is. Right by Darrell Walter.
Darrell and Dolly Parton and all those people.
Marlin.
Yeah. I think Garth Brooks lives out that way somewhere, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well,
Just about every country music singer there is lives down there.
hey, well, you're in good company. Well, then, can you sing?
No, you don't want me to sing. That's for sure.
Okay, you're right, we don't.
Don't give up your day job.
Listen, have a good race in Texas. Hope you do well.
Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, good luck.
You mean you're not going to tell him to go get an In-N-Out burger somewhere?
There's not an In-N-Out burger. Well, there's one, but it's in Dallas. You don't want to go there.
Well, is he going to be near Road Oak? Have him go to the Babe's Chicken with
He probably knows about Babe's Chicken if he's been that way. Anyway, have a good race. Be safe. Do well, and maybe someday we'll talk to you after you've won one of these things.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on here, guys.
Okay, thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
push button.
All right, now what do we do?
Well, you can finish up the beginning conversation.
Well, I didn't want to, he didn't want to hang on and talk to us about chicken and hamburgers. Yeah.
Well, I was just surprised you didn't say, hey, next time you're out in Vegas or something, go stop by the In-N-Out. Or
He's too far from Vegas.
um,
Now,
Scott,
I want to know who our guests are. Who's this young lady?
Anastasia Romanova.
Well, I know that. You told me that. But why is she here other than she's clearly a very intelligent, lovely lady?
She's actually a tennis player. She goes to Hampton University. She's from Russia.
I've been to Russia.
Cool.
Yeah, I took a cruise 2 years ago, and we went from Copenhagen to Estonia to somewhere to St. Petersburg.
Oh.
Yeah, or Leningrad. Now, what's it called? Leningrad or St. Petersburg?
Earlier it was Leningrad, but now
Okay.
it's St. Petersburg.
We went to this gigantic museum, the art gallery, huge place.
Yeah, there are a lot of museums.
Yeah. Okay.
Churches.
One of my good friends from Berlin.
Oh.
She's been here in the States, I guess, about 10 years now.
Why would she want to come to a racing
She-
program?
Well, she knows me from playing tennis. Okay. So, and I was talking to her about, NASCAR and stuff like this. They had one of the D4D cars over at Hampton University in
Yeah, I
October.
knew that.
Okay, and she was over there and had seen that. And Jackson had some pictures taken with the
I was
cars.
playing actually. There was
Oh.
a computer game, a NASCAR. I tried it. It was like first trying for students.
Really?
Yes, and you can write your comments about this game. Did you like it or not? And I played a little bit.
Did you see what happened to Nadal today? He
Yes.
got absolutely
Oh,
crushed.
It is my favorite player.
Is he really?
Yes.
I like Federer.
Mm.
But Federer's kind of old. Nadal I like. But Djokovic, he just killed him.
Yes, maybe just not Nadal's day.
Yeah.
And it's his birthday actually.
His birthday's today.
Not
Can
us.
can anybody beat Serena? You
Who?
think
Who?
Who could beat Serena?
you can? Can you
No,
really?
no.
That would be fun to try at least.
I wish they played with Sharapova in final, but Sharapova lost. So
Yeah.
I think Safarova in good conditions now.
And you play tennis at HU?
Yes,
Do you? Is Dr. Screen still there?
Dr. Screen.
Dr. Robert Screen. He was the men's coach for 30 years or so.
Tennis coach.
Tennis coach.
Oh no.
Great coach. He may have gotten old and
I heard about him, but after him was another coach, and now we have.
oh, okay. Can you beat him?
She hasn't tried yet. She's got a nice good
You know,
serve.
I'm a pretty good player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I played in
gosh.
college.
Huh?
I played in college.
I played in high school. I played for the Air Force. The only
I-
only thing slowing me down is old age and a belly. And even then, some people can't figure out how I get around as fast as I do.
All right. I should come out and play you someday.
Come on down
I
to
haven't
Tennis
played in
Center.
25
I'd like to
years.
watch that.
Let's go play
That'd be
right now.
interesting.
Yeah, let us know.
He's
He's
ready to
really
go.
good.
Let's know
We
when
could
that
buy
happens.
tickets for that one.
There you go. We'll have a charity.
Can I get the tickets for free
Yeah,
for that?
I get a charity to pay for my hospital bill.
But yeah, she's pretty good. I've watched her play. She's quick on the court, and I think she's got a pretty good future in it.
You know what the first rule in tennis is?
Is it anything like NASCAR? Start out with 10 million, so you have $1 million when you're done.
No. When in doubt, call it out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I had that happen yesterday when I was playing in one of the men's leagues.
Have you ever been to a race? You ever been to a car race?
No,
No, I told her I'm taking her Saturday.
Take
out
a
to
lively
Langley.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already talked about that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Get her earphones though. Get her earplugs.
Woo!
Yeah, you
Yeah,
like
you're
that.
gonna need
It's gonna be
gloves or something.
serious.
Yeah, you're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. You like that.
Get her some of them those redneck fries.
Yeah.
I love the.
Okay, we've killed about 3 minutes. It's about time to go.
It always
Actually,
comes back to
You
food.
did a whole lot more than
No,
that.
not really.
You're down to 3 minutes left now. Jeez.
So you like Nadal, huh?
Yeah, I do. I think, I started play tennis not so long time ago, in 2008, in September, and the first tournament that I watched, I didn't like watch tennis on TV before I started to play, and Nadal was the first player who I liked, and I watched Roland Garros. This is my favorite tournament.
Are you left-handed also?
No, I'm
No. No.
I'm left-handed.
He's got, oh,
Roger is
huge.
left-handed.
Ever see his arms? It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm left-handed. Her coach Rush is left-handed.
Rashko, yeah.
Who's your coach?
Rashko.
Oh, I know him.
Oh, great guy.
Yeah, he played at Christopher Newport.
Yep.
He was an All-American. He was a great player. And I think his father owns a couple of physical fitness studios.
That I don't know.
I think that's right. Rush Cole, I know him.
Rashko, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he played at Christopher Newport, I believe.
He did.
Maybe 10 years ago. 15? 20?
You gotta remember, he's what, up in his 40s, almost 50s?
Oh, okay. Oh, he's not that old.
Huh?
I don't think Rush is that old.
How old is Rush now?
He is 40.
Really?
I'm not saying. I don't
Okay.
continue.
Okay.
Above 45, but less than 50.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought he
Okay,
was.
folks.
I like
Alright,
him.
we're
I
outta
like
here.
him.
It's 1 minute left, and Al's ready to crank.
Well, no, I mean, there's no, I mean,
Let's talk about
We've
tennis.
gone from racing to tennis. Well, hey, we've done basketball and football and whoever else you can.
Hey, let's do
Right.
baseball now.
we've done fried chicken.
Yep. Base
Stan,
fried
Stanley
chicken.
Cup starting tonight.
Oh, that's right. I'm pulling for Tampa Bay. I'm pulling for Tampa Bay and pulling for Golden State.
Yeah, I'm pulling for Tampa Bay.
I want to see Steph Curry just bury LeBron.
Wouldn't that be
James.
awesome?
Just bury him.
Wouldn't that be nice?
You know, his father went to Virginia Tech, and Tech never
Really?
recruited him.
Huh.
Never even
Never thought
called
about
him.
him.
Never
Huh.
called him.
Now look at him.
Well, now that everybody's had their fill of all the sports,
He went to Davidson. where my friend Tom Carter goes, or lives.
We'll catch everybody next week on Let's Talk Racing. Bye.